Hello, hello, hello. I recently found out that I have been featured in FeedSpot's Top 10 Black Muslim podcast. I'm currently at number 3. I am so humbled and grateful and I'm at a loss for words. I can't even tell you what this means to me, to know that this humble podcast is, inshallah, going to grow and is reaching people around the world. Once again, thank you, FeedSpot, for this honor. And I also want to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the gifts that He has bestowed upon me. Allahu Akbar. Lut, alayhi salam, was the nephew of Prophet Ibrahim, alayhi salam, and believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just as firmly as his uncle. He witnessed his uncle's patience and perseverance, so he knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's word as truth. Even though Ibrahim's people were idol worshippers and disbelieved in the message. Upon Ibrahim alayhi salam leaving his people, the only believers at that time were his wife Sarah alayhi salam and his nephew Lut alayhi salam. They split up, and Lut alayhi salam was instructed to head towards Sadoom, which today is known as Sodom and Gomorrah. The exact location is unknown, as those cities were destroyed and punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for their conduct that persisted there. But scholars believe those cities are around the Dead Sea. Some interesting characteristics of the Dead Sea. It is considered the lowest place on earth and holds a unique body of water, one of the saltiest bodies on earth, and also called the Sea of Salt. No life can flourish there. And if one decides to try and swim in its waters, one is risking their life. What is the significance of this location from a spiritual and religious analysis? Biblically, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed and a woman was turned into a pillar of salt because she looked back as her family was instructed not to do, as fire and brimstone rained down upon them. Why did Lut alayhi salam and his family have to flee such destruction? The Quranic perspective next on the Conversation Piece podcast. Hello, 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 and welcome back to The Conversation Piece with your host, Akila. So far, I hope I have conveyed upon you the common thread that the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tried to communicate to their people. The messengers were from among their own communities and tribes, so the people knew them and trusted them before they turned on their messengers. Lut alayhi salam was not from among the people of Sadoom. He was sent there, but the residents of Sadoom were already filled with wicked and rebellious people, robbers, murderers, rapists, and they had a reputation of engaging with sex with males instead of their women. They did such conduct openly and without shame. Thus, the city was known as Sodom. Lut alayhi salam abhorred all these sins, but held firm in his belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He tried to call them towards the faith. Surah 26, ayahs 161 through 174. The people of Lut rejected the messengers. Behold, their brother said to them, Will you not fear Allah? I am to you a messenger worthy of all trust. So fear Allah and obey me. No reward do I ask of you for it. My reward is only from the Lord of the worlds. Of all the creatures in the world, will you approach males and leave those whom Allah has created for you to be your mates? No, you are a people transgressing all limits. They said, O Lut, if you do not stop, we will cast you out. Lut said, I do detest your doings. O my Lord, deliver me and my family from such things as they do. So we delivered him and his family, all except an old woman who lingered behind. But the rest we destroyed utterly. We rained down on them a shower of brimstone, and evil was a shower on those who were warned but heeded not. Verily, and this is a sign, but most of them do not believe. Quran gets right to the point. It makes things clear. As Muslims, we submit ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we will be judged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by his laws and rules. And if certain actions are haram, the Arabic term for forbidden or unlawful, then they are haram. The people of Sadoom were so blinded and corrupted by their conduct, they did not see harm in their actions. And Lut informed them and tried to warn them. Surah 7, Ayah 80 through 82. We sent Lut to his people. He said to his people, "Do you commit lewdness such as no people in creation ever committed before you? For you practice your lust on men in preference to women. You are indeed a people transgressing beyond bounds." His people gave no answer but this. They said, "Drive them out of the city. These are indeed men who want to be clean and pure." I recognize that this is a contentious topic, and I debated, should I just relay the story of Lut alayhi salam, omit his story completely, or try to give more of a modern contextualization to the main subject matter at hand, because I do have friends in the LGBTQIA community, and I care for them dearly. But you can hate the sin, but love the sinner. All I can do is to convey the message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his wisdom and guidance suggest. The rest is up to the person. And to try to neglect the fact that Lut alayhi salam was not a messenger sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that does it injustice. They, like myself, have to stand before their maker on a day of judgment. Some would argue that homosexuality is genetic, biological, social, a choice even, and I am in no way discounting sexual trauma of some. For like I stated, I have friends in this community, and I have met some people and had conversations with some gay people who see it as a sin. And in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, it is a sin. Those critical of Islam and organized religion spew hateful words for those not accepting of homosexuality, as if we are rejecting them as a person. No. It is the act that is being rejected, not the person. It is not considered clean. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam and created for him his companion, his mate, Hawa, Eve alayhi salam. Surah 51, Ayah 49. And of everything, we have created pairs, that you may remember the grace of Allah. Look at creation. It is in the nature of creation and how we as human beings fit into that role of creation. And everything in Allah's creation has pairs, male and female. Now, some would suggest that in nature, some animals mate with the same sex, or even change their sex entirely. We are not animals. Well, yes, technically we are mammals. But our evolution versus that of other creation seems like a way for some to justify behavior that they want to indulge in. There are reasons some animals conduct same-sex behavior, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala considers that behavior in us haram, forbidden. Some critics want to argue that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed Sadoom because they were gay. No, that was not the reason. The people of Sadoom were wicked, devious, dangerous people. They robbed, raped, murdered, all out in the open, as if there was nothing wrong with that type of behavior. Surah 27, Ayah 54. And Lut, when he said to his people, "What? Do you commit indecency with your eyes open?" Surah 29, Ayah 29. Do you indeed approach men and cut off the highways, and practice wickedness even in your councils? But his people gave no answer but this. They said, "Bring us the wrath of Allah if you tell the truth." The wrath of Allah. Sound familiar? The messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their rejectors all boasted to their Nabi to send on us a punishment. We're not scared. Outright disobedience, outright arrogance. Once a declaration is made by the disbelievers to bring on the punishment, they bring on themselves their own destruction. The clock ticks down. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I hope you are enjoying yourself so far. I have a favor to ask you. If you can, real quick, hit the follow button wherever you're getting this podcast so you'll be notified when I drop a new episode. Also, like, comment, and share because sharing is caring. Thank you. The Conversation Piece podcast can now be found on YouTube. Go to www.youtube.com/@Aquila B. Lynch, AQUILABOINCH. Lut alayhi salam had a family, a wife and 2 daughters. He did not have any male children. His wife was found to be a disbeliever, but before he was instructed to leave the city with his family, Lut alayhi salam disassociated himself with them and made a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after they boasted to bring on the wrath. Surah 29, Ayat 30. He said, "O my Lord, help me against people who do mischief." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hears the prayers and calls of his servants. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent angels who were visiting Ibrahim alayhi salam to inform him that he was to have a son. They also informed Ibrahim alayhi salam that they were also sent to destroy the people of Sadoom. Ibrahim alayhi salam grew concerned because his nephew was also there. The angels informed him that they were aware of the inhabitants of Sadoom and that Lut alayhi salam and his family, except his wife, would be safe from harm. Surah 29, Ayat 31 through 32. When our messengers came to Abraham with the good news, they said, "We are indeed going to destroy the people of this township, for truly they are addicted to crime." Abraham said, "But Lut is there." The angel said, "Well do we know who is there. We will certainly save him and his following, except his wife. She is of those who will lag behind." It is narrated that the angels were handsome, and as they made their way to Sadoom, before they got inside the city, they caught the notice of the highwaymen, men who blocked entrances, robbed, raped, pillaged, etc., to people coming into town. One of Lut's daughters knew they needed protection and informed her father. Lut alayhi salam knew he needed to protect them, so he rushed and gave them safety. Lut alayhi salam and his guests had temporary safety as his wife managed to leave the house and tell the townspeople of his guests. She betrayed him, for she was a disbeliever, and brought danger to Lut's doorstep. Surah 66, Ayat 10. Allah sets forth for an example the unbelievers, the wife of Noah and the wife of Lut. They are respectively under 2 of our righteous servants, but they were false to their husbands, and they profited nothing before Allah on their account, but were told, "Enter you the fire along with others that enter." Lut's wife now has Sadoom in a frenzy. Surah 11, Ayah 78 through 79. And his people came rushing towards him, and they had been long in the habit of practicing abominations. He said, "O my people, here are my daughters. They are pure for you. Now fear Allah, and cover me not with shame about my guests. Is there not among you a single right-minded man?" They said, "Well do you know we have no need of your daughters. Indeed you know quite well what we want." Surah 15, Ayah 70. They said, "Have we not forbidden you from protecting people?" Lut alayhi salam and his family did not know their guests were angels. The men of Sadoom were beating down his door. The angels revealed, Surah 11, Ayah 80 through 81. "O Lut, we are messengers from your Lord. By no means shall they reach you. Now travel with your family while yet a part of the night remains, and let not any of you look back, but your wife will remain behind. To her will happen what happens to the people. Morning is their time appointed. Is the morning not near? Surah 11, Ayah 82 through 83. When our issue decreed, we turned the cities upside down and rained down on them brimstones hard as baked clay, spread layer on layer, marked as from your Lord. Nor are they ever far from those who do wrong. Some people who Allah destroyed. Some have been kept as a sign to mankind, for our warning and reminders, so we can reflect on our behaviors. Others were completely wiped from the face of the earth as if they never existed in the first place. In the beginning of this episode, I mentioned the Dead Sea. If you visit, you will find remnants of the town of Sadoom and Gomorrah. Surah 37, Ayah 137 through 138. Verily, you pass by their sites by night and day. Will you not understand? Lut alayhi salam went back to his uncle Ibrahim alayhi salam and relayed what happened to the people of Sadoom. But Ibrahim alayhi salam already knew of their destruction. Surah 51, Ayah 31 through 37. Abraham said, "And what, O messengers, is your errand now?" They said, "We have been sent to a people deep in sin, to bring on them a shower of brimstones, marked as from your Lord, for those who transgress beyond bounds." Then we evacuated those of believers who were there, but we found not there any just Muslim persons except in one house, and we left there a sign for such as fear the grievous penalty. Hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you have Spotify? If so, turn on the notification button. Jacob and Joseph. On the next episode, the prophet known as Bani Israel, Jacob, and my favorite story from the Quran, the story of Joseph. Peace and blessings upon them both. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Conversation Piece Podcast. I am your humble host, Akila, requesting that you join me again. So, until then, be safe, love, and value yourself so that you can love and value others. I bid you adieu with the greeting, Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you.